class, I'll be solving this practice question on GDP. We're asked to calculate real GDP and nominal GDP. The question says the table below shows both prices and quantities of goods produced in a country. Use the table to answer the questions that follow it. Here is the table we have here 2005, 2006, 2007. And we have the price of good A and quantity produced of good B, good A. So here we have the prices here, quantity produced here. For good B, we have the prices, then we have the quantity produced here. We have to compute nominal GDP and real GDP for each year. We have to use 2005 as our base year. So base year is only relevant when you are calculating real GDP. So let's try to solve this question. Here is the solution. Okay. So we will be starting from A, 2000. We are starting from 2005 nominal GDP. So those GDP is measured using the current market price. So in other words, we are going to look at that year we are calculating nominal GDP for. For example, 2005. So we look at the price in that year, then we multiply by the quantity in that year. For each of the goods produced in that year, then we now add everything together. Now, for 2005, we have the price of good A. So here, in other words, in 2005 here, we have 10, which is the price, then multiply by the quantity of good A in that year. Okay, so in other words, we have multiplied by 400. Okay, so this is for good A. Okay, for good A. Okay, don't forget. So we have to, because this country produced two goods. So we had the value of good A, then to the value of good B. The GDP measure the value of all the money value of all final goods produced. Okay. So now we move to good B. That same year, the price. This is to multiply by the quantity. So which is 1000. Okay. So this is good B. So I'm writing it there so that you understand angle from which I'm coming. Here, when you multiply this, you have 4000, then plus 2000. So in other words, so here you have $6,000. So this is nominal GDP in 2005. What of 2006 nominal GDP? So you do the same thing. Okay? Now, 2006 nominal GDP, the price is 2006, so it's only price than quantity in that year. So 11 multiplied by 500. So we have 11 multiplied by 500. That is for good A. Then you have plus for good B. 2. For good B, you have 2.5 multiplied by, that is 2.5 multiplied by 1100. Okay? Now, when you multiply this, so you are going to get 5,500, then plus. And so you are going to get 2,750, then you add this. When you add this together, what do you get? You have 8,250. Okay, 8,000. This is the nominal GDP 2006. 2007 nominal GDP will be equal. So we move 2007. What the price? We start from good A. That is 12. Then multiply by the quantity produced. Quantity of good A. So we have 600. Then plus good B. We have 3. That is the price multiplied by quantity. Now 3 multiplied by 1,200. Okay. Now, when you do the 12 times 600, Okay, 12 times 600 will give us 7,200. Then plus, you multiply this, you have 3,600. Okay, at the end of the day, when you add, you have 10,800. So this is nominal GDP in 2007. Nominal GDP 2007. Okay. Now, the question also, we are done with nominal GDP calculation. Let's move to real GDP. Where in real GDP we have to use 2005 as the base year, meaning that the price we are going to use will be 2005 market prices. Okay? We are going to use 2005 market prices. So I told you in the previous video that when you are calculating real GDP, okay, real GDP for the base year, the value of real GDP for the base year will always be equals to the nominal GDP for that year. Okay, for example, if you take 2005 here as the base year, the nominal GDP is 2005 will always be equals to real GDP 2005, but that is the base year. We are going to use the same price. Okay, now let's continue. This is real GDP now. So let's start from 2005 real GDP. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to do the same thing we have got the base year. So we don't have choice, we are going to do the same thing we did here. So the price 105 still remain 10 for good A multiplied by 400. Okay, like we did here. Then we have plus 2 multiplied by 1000. Okay, for that year. So we have 4000 plus 2000. Then we have equals 6,000 US dollars. So that is real GDP in 2005. Now 2006 real GDP. So that will be, so I will use the price in the base year instead of the price in that current year. Okay. So here I have 10 multiplied by, but I'm going to retain the quantity for that good. I have 500. Okay. Then plus, I move to the second group. Instead of using 2.5 US dollars, I will use the price in the base year. So I will use 2. So I have 2 multiplied by 1,100. Okay. Here, I'm going to have, when you multiply this one, we are going to have 5,000. Okay. Plus, you multiply this, you are going to have 2,200. Okay. So when you add this, you have 7,200. Okay, 7,200. So you are going to have 7,200. This is real GDP in 2006. Okay, you can see when you compare real GDP 2006, okay, so nominal 2006, you can see the difference. Okay, meaning that GDP in 2006 has been overstated due to increase in the price level, and in actual sense, in the recent real GDP has only increased from 6,000 to 7,200, not from 6,000 to 8,250 US dollars. Okay. Now, in real GDP, what is real GDP in 2007? Let me calculate that here. 2007 real GDP. So we are going to do the same thing. In 2007 here, instead of using the price, okay, in 2007 we are going to use the price in the base year. That is 10, okay, it's 10 multiplied by the quantity in that year, okay, that is in the year we are calculating for, 600, okay, plus, this is good A, we move to good B. Instead of using 3, with the price in that year, we go to the base year, we have 2 multiplied by 1,200, okay. So you multiply this, what do you have? You have 6,000, okay. Then plus, when you multiply this, you have 2,400, okay. Now, add this together, you have $8,400. You can also compare this. Look at this, real GDP 2007 and nominal GDP 2007. You can see Nominal GDP has overstated the value of GDP. Okay, okay. By nominal GDP, you can see from nominal GDP you can see that GDP is $10,800. But here in recent, okay, after removing the effect of inflation, we can see clearly that GDP is $8,400. Don't forget to like the video, drop your comment, and share the video to benefit others. Bye.